consideration provided by...
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35. You're gonna be here forever.
And
here's your wireless contract.
Do I need a lawyer for this? Those were hard days.
Representative switch.
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
Hello there, I'm Ryan Reynolds.
I'm Hugh Jackman, and we are
here to spill the
E.T.
Yes.
Our wildest spilling the E.T. to date.
You can't spell eternity without E.T.
Join us Monday for that.
Can we move on and throw it back to The Karate Kid? It just celebrated its 40th anniversary, and with another movie in the works, OG star Ralph Macchio is revealing who he'd like to see wax on and wax off again. Take care.
Bye.
I keep rooting for Hillary Swank.
Yeah, well, who doesn't, you know? And that's the one piece that would be interesting, you know?
We do know Ralph Macchio is back as Daniel LaRusso. Jackie Chan's Mr. Han is too. Josh...
Happening now.
The jury deliberating in the capital murder trial of a 19-year-old man. Coming up, why they can consider lesser charges.
And now that the RNC is over, the attention turns to the Democrats and President Joe Biden. Will he be their nominee? We have a live report from the White House next.
Looking at our most drought-stricken parts of south central Texas and how much rain they could get in the days ahead in just a bit. News at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, technology proving to be more of a foe than a friend today as a major computer system outage affected millions of travelers and they were scrambling.
It's affected so many things, from flights to banking to hospitals and 911 services. Now here locally, roughly 10 flights delayed or canceled out of San Antonio International, but we don't have confirmation that it is related to that worldwide tech outage. SAPD said on Facebook today that 911 service has not been affected here locally. Let's take a look at what it looked like at the San Antonio airport this afternoon. Of the 7 canceled flights out of San Antonio today, 4 were domestic, 3 were international, and 7 delayed departures, all domestic.
Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to look at the larger global outage that reportedly stems from a software update linked to a Texas-based cyber company. But also first at 5, it is in the hands of a jury right now. Jurors deliberating the capital murder trial of Jonathan Tijerina. They've been behind closed doors now for 4.5 hours.
Tijerina is on trial for the robbery and murder of a man 2 years ago. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom.
A tense courtroom this morning as the state and defense presented closing arguments in the Jonathan Tijerina capital murder trial. Tijerina was one of 6 men accused of the robbery and murder of Takai Michael back in May 2021 outside a Northeast Side hookah lounge. All the other men have since taken plea deals on murder and aggravated robbery charges.
If the defendant knew his co-conspirators might use guns in the course of a robbery, that can be enough to demonstrate that he anticipated the possibility of a murder from that robbery.
Prosecutors have said just because Tijerina wasn't the shooter that the law of parties in Texas still holds him accountable for this crime. Despite his age, he has to pay consequences.
But at the end of the day, he was old enough to be running around with all these guns, getting into all this stuff, and I would say he's old enough to be responsible for it. That's what the law says.
But the defense says that the state didn't prove that Tijerina was a part of this crime and that the state didn't have DNA, fingerprints, enhanced video, or credible witnesses.
The state has not proven their case on any of these counts, on any of these charges. They have not proven beyond reasonable doubt that Jonathan Tijerina was a party to capital murder.
Now, the jury doesn't just have to consider capital murder. There are 3 lesser charges included. That is murder, aggravated robbery, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The difference in these charges is range of punishment. But if found guilty of capital murder, the automatic sentence is life in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
And of course, when a verdict is reached, we'll bring it to you. Let's move to an argument now that escalated into gunfire this morning, leaving 1 man dead. And police say the alleged gunman then took his own life. SAPD officers say they were called out to Nagalito Street near Division Avenue just before 6 a.m. for a shooting. They say 2 men were reportedly fighting when the suspect pulled a gun and fired. Officers say they found the victim with a gunshot wound to the head. He died at the scene. The suspect took off. He was spotted about 2.5 hours later at an apartment complex on Violeta Street. It's close to Cesar Chavez Boulevard near Alazan Creek. The suspect inside his vehicle with a gun, we're told a man who identified himself as the suspect's son called police saying his father admitted to killing the victim and stated he did not want to go back to jail. Officers say when they approached the vehicle, they found the suspect dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police are investigating both of those shootings. The identities of the victim and the suspect haven't been released yet.
1 week, 2 gas mains hit. The initial field investigation into a gas line explosion in Floresville is now complete. We know that a fiber optic company hit that gas main on Tuesday, which caused the blast that destroyed a home. But we still have to wait to find out what the official cause of that explosion is. That's coming from the Floresville city manager today. He also said that for now, all digging at construction sites should be on hold.
Any construction that's dealing with digging underground, we've stopped that at this time.
That was Floresville city manager Andy Joslin yesterday. Also yesterday, a second gas main in Floresville was hit, but that did not cause any damage, thankfully. Jocelyn tells us that no one should have been digging at all in the city after the first blast this week. To make sure that all construction crews in the city get the message, the city manager said in a statement, quote, Public Works and police department officials will be monitoring all construction activity within our city limits to ensure with the cease on all digging, boring operations. As far as who will be paying for all these damages caused by that explosion, we're told that's still a question. Those who were affected by the explosion are being asked to call Floresville City Hall.
With the Republican National Convention now in the rearview mirror, we are 1 month away from the Democratic National Convention as calls continue to increase for President Joe Biden to bow out of the race for the White House.
Brian Abel joins us live from the White House with the latest on the campaigns. Brian.
Yeah, the attention is really turning to the Democrats and that big question, will President Biden remain the nominee? And all of this happening after former President Donald Trump held his first major speech since his assassination attempt.
A dizzying week in U.S. politics, shaking up the 2024 race for the White House. What began with an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump became a rallying cry for the Republican Party as members united behind their leader. The culmination of the Republican National Convention, and at times subdued, other times fiery speech from Trump himself as he formally accepted the GOP nomination for president for the third time.
The discord and division in our society must be healed. We must heal it quickly. The Democrat Party should immediately stop weaponizing the justice system and labeling their political opponent as an enemy of democracy.
The Republican unity, a stark contrast to the division among Democrats.
A big part of his legacy should be him stepping aside and allowing for that new leadership.
President Joe Biden, sidelined, diagnosed with COVID while campaigning in Nevada, is now self-isolating in Delaware and insisting he is staying in the race.
Absolutely, the president's in this race. You've heard him say that time and time again.
Biden releasing a statement today vowing to be back on the campaign trail next week. But privately, sources claim Biden is beginning to take concerns of many in his party into greater consideration, following conversations with party leaders who are worried he cannot win in November and puts vulnerable Democrats up and down the ballot at risk.
And the Democrats' time to pick a new nominee before the Democratic Convention is running out just today. The DNC Rules Committee meeting and deciding to move forward with a plan to hold a virtual roll call vote to formalize the nomination of Joe Biden. And that vote, it could happen as soon as August 1st.
Brian, trying to take some attention back from Republicans and rally Democrats behind him, President Biden unveiled some new policy proposals this week. What can you tell us about those?
Yeah, this is an appeal to progressives. The Biden campaign releasing plans to push for critical changes to the Supreme Court. And the White House is doubling down as well, forgiving $1.2 billion in student loan debt for about 3,500 borrowers, but there is an appeals court blockage of a key repayment plan that was launched last year by this administration, and payments will be paused for the 8 million people that are using that plan.
So with the Republican convention now over, what's next for former President Trump and his campaign?
This newly formed Trump Vance ticket is hitting the road, the campaign trail, heading to my hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan tomorrow. And tomorrow, Saturday, it will mark the 7 days as well as the first rally since the assassination attempt on former President Trump.
Brian Abel in Washington, D.C. reporting for us tonight. Thank you, Brian. All right, they say a picture tells quite a story. As we mentioned off the top of the newscast, millions affected by the global technology outage, especially air travelers. Okay, this is how it begins. We got this on a loop. You can see when the outage begins, centered in Austin at CrowdStrike. Look at that. Look at the slowdown.
Yeah. It just went on. A dramatic drop in numbers of flights in the air. Of course, we have seen a lot of different things be affected by this. This is all linked to that Austin-based cybersecurity firm called CrowdStrike. Now, company officials said the issue was a faulty update that was sent out to computers running Microsoft Windows. But as ABC's Morgan Norwood reports, hours after this problem was first detected, the mess continued.
A massive IT outage wreaking havoc on industries and infrastructure after a faulty software update by CrowdStrike, an American cybersecurity firm whose services are utilized by thousands of businesses and government agencies across the globe. Travel taking the hardest hit, long lines forming at airports around the world, thousands of flights grounded, leaving passengers stranded.
We're in Rome right now. I'm from Austin, Texas, and we were supposed to take off at 10:30 today on a Delta flight, 10:30 a.m. And it kept getting delayed until noon, and then it's canceled.
The outages impacting the nation's police and fire services. Law enforcement on alert for online actors and hackers attempting to infiltrate corporate and government IT networks by blasting bogus software fixes for the problem. Some experts defending CrowdStrike.
It's the nature of the cat and mouse game with cybersecurity that you have to get new defensive technologies out very quickly.
But others say this chaos was preventable.
It's frankly shocking that in 2024, it's possible for an outage like this to occur.
At least a dozen hospitals around the country also affected, some canceling elective surgeries. President Joe Biden briefed on the outage. The White House says his team is in touch with impacted organizations. Meanwhile, CrowdStrike scrambling to deploy a fix. The CEO apologizing for the chaos in a post on X and promising to get systems back online.
And airlines are now beginning to slowly come back online, but it is expected to take some time before they're fully back up and running. Delays and cancellations expected through the morning and into the early afternoon. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
That's why I'm glad I'm still on Windows 99. Let's go live outside. This is I-35 at Palo Alto, and you can see 35 moving along very smoothly. The frontage road, a little bit of a backup, but no major traffic tie-ups to tell you about on this Friday.
Yeah, I waited in line for overnight at Circuit City for that, right?
Windows 99, yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Exactly, love it. All right, Authority radar, pretty quiet right now. You see a lot of ground clutter out there, nothing, and even some insects being detected by radar, but nothing to talk about in terms of shower activity until you go farther to the southwest of town, and this is all fizzling out. This is along and just west of I-35 from Cotulla toward Crystal City, but we have better rain chances to talk about as we get into next week. Now, officially at the airport, 0.66, so 2/3 of an inch officially in town today. 92 was our high temperature, the record 106. And actually, we were below average today because of the rain and the showers, the downpour we had over the airport. 102 in Del Rio, that's an exception. Everybody else in the 90s. New Braunfels, about 1/4 of an inch. Check out Lavernia, 1.6 inches, just 6 miles south of Lavernia in Rogers' backyard. A few pop-up showers each afternoon this weekend. We're talking a 20 to 30% chance, but the focus is next week. We'll talk about how much more rain we could see in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. Still ahead, it was delayed by a fire, but now plans are back on track for new housing for our homeless population. The timetable for work to start on the Hudson Apartments up next. Here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. 19,000 cars reported stolen in San Antonio in 1 year. Yesterday, we told you about that high number. Well, today at 6, we tell you what police do with that information after a car is reported stolen. That and more today on the news at 6.
And new at 5, Bexar County commissioners have approved $300,000 to help Sam Ministries' Hudson Apartments project regain its momentum after a major fire that happened there back in March. This is a place that's supposed to help the homeless. The money is coming from the county's general fund. It'll be used for operational expenses as renovations begin. It's on top of the $950,000 leaders initially approved and released to Sam Ministries for the Hudson Apartments renovation project back in May. The apartment complex on Blanco Road will be for our homeless population. The project hit a snag after an AC unit on the roof of the complex sparked a fire damaging 20 units. County leaders say phase 1 of the renovation process will focus on the units that were not damaged by the fire, and work should begin in a few weeks. According to Sam Ministries' timetable, a substantial amount of renovations scheduled to be completed by late October.
Well, the happiest place on earth may have some big frowns. Disneyland employees could soon go on strike. Some 9,500 theme park workers in California are expected to take a final vote today on whether to authorize that strike. Employees are upset with their wages that haven't kept up with the rising cost of living in California. The current contract expired in June and bargaining's been messy. A strike would be the first at Disneyland in 40 years. Disney officials say that if workers do walk off the job, they have plans in place to keep the park open.
All right, I am not used to July, walking outside, having a nice breeze. It's kind of enjoyable.
And some rain.
Yeah, this is a very unusual July. I'm not complaining.
It's a great July.
I'm a big fan of it so far.
It's just a little eerie. You're right. You know,
Yeah.
I in the living room earlier today, and all of a sudden, whoosh, you hear that's not an airplane overhead. That's rain. Right? That's thunder. It's good to see. And we're going to see more of that activity, especially into next week. Take a look at our rain chances. Let's start with those. Only 20 to 30% the next couple of afternoons, Saturday and Sunday. Monday, we're up to 40%. Then now the focus is on Tuesday to Thursday, when we boosted those rain chances up to 60%. And obviously, we could use the rain, especially locally and westward toward the Rio Grande. You look at the newest drought monitor updated yesterday, and about 25% of Texas is considered in drought. That's especially West Texas and, of course, right here in parts of South Central Texas. Now, the orange and red, the severe and extreme drought, I'm going to outline that in this white color here to isolate that area where we really need the rain the most. Now we'll switch over to our potential. And keep in mind, this is just the preliminary rainfall potential over a 7-day span. But at least this potential is there of a few inches of rain. We could see 2 to 4 inches of rain within the most drought-stricken parts of our area. So at least there's some hope there. Is this a guarantee? Come on, you know me better than that. Absolutely not a guarantee, but it is our preliminary potential. As usual with rain, it can vary significantly just over the span of a few miles. And that's going to be the case again tomorrow, like it was today. And by the way, at 6, we'll dig into the luckiest neighborhoods around Bexar County when it comes to the rainfall accumulation. But tomorrow, just a few of these quick splash and dash, brief pop-up showers. And that's all we're talking about the next couple of afternoons. Very widely separated, not much in terms of overall coverage. What changes into next week is the heat highs over California for several days. That opens the door for this weak disturbance to drop into the central U.S. That disturbance will help throw some energy our way that'll get kind of trapped overhead, along with moisture that's going to be trapped overhead. And it's going to give us multiple days in a row of what look like pretty good rain chances. Now, is it going to be raining all day next week through the week? No, of course not. It's just going to be periodic opportunities, more than usual, and decent coverage compared to what we've had. So we have those 60% chances from Tuesday all the way through Thursday of next week, and that could even linger into Friday. I do want to point out temperatures dropping into the upper 80s next week. That's not very July-like either, Steve.
No, I'm liking this. Looks good.
Thank you, Adam.
All right. The baby Spurs in Vegas, can they stay undefeated, Larry?
Well, they want to stay undefeated because if they do, then they get a chance to make the playoffs out in Las Vegas. So that would be pretty cool, right? So the Spurs taking on the Sixers, the Silver and Black, are they thinking about the playoffs? And how is Texas football predicted to finish in the SEC? Coming up. The Summer League Spurs will take on the 76ers tonight in Las Vegas, looking to remain undefeated. The Spurs are 3-0 in Las Vegas after beating the Blazers 83-77, the Hawks 79-76, and then Tuesday night they were 5 better than the Pelicans 90-85. The Spurs are one of 5 undefeated teams, and they have a shot at making the playoffs. The top 4 teams will advance. C.D. Sissoko says the Spurs are not thinking about that.
I'm feeling great. I think we're not focused for the playoff right now. We're just focused on the game day situation, I would say. Just like, just very drunk right there dancing. But yeah, no, we just focus on the game and, day by day. So, but no, we're gonna do good tonight. So, yeah.
Spurs and Sixers will hoop tonight at 7:30 at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. Entering their first season in the SEC, the Texas Longhorns are predicted to finish second in the conference behind Georgia. The Bulldogs, only 9 times since 1992, has the predicted champion prior to the season. At SEC Media Days, proceeded to win the SEC championship game. Last season, their final one in the Big 12, Texas went 12-2 overall, 8-1 in conference, winning their first Big 12 title since 2009. Coach Sark had this to say during his time at the podium during SEC Media Days.
At the University of Texas, part of the standard being the standard is competing for championships. I'm up here talking about football, but it's at every sport. It's at every level. And so regardless of the conference, and that's to take nothing away from the SEC, our goal is to come into this conference and compete for a conference championship. It is what it is. That's why you go to the University of Texas, so that won't change.
Georgia is predicted to finish first overall and win the SEC championship game, as voted on by the media covering SEC Media Days. Texas predicted to finish second overall, with Alabama coming in third, Oklahoma 8th, and Texas A&M is 9th out of the 16-team conference. Longhorns linebacker and former UTSA standout defender Trey Moore is one of 13 Horns to land on the preseason All-SEC football teams. The Smithson Valley alum earned SEC third-team honors. In his final season with the Roadrunners, he had 14 sacks, third most in the FBS, earning American Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Year. That's it for sports.
All right, thanks, Larry. We've got some breaking news into our newsroom. A jury has now reached a verdict after about 5 hours of deliberation in the trial of Jonathan Tijerina. He has been found not guilty on all counts. He was on trial for capital murder.
Yeah, that verdict just coming in. He was facing life in prison if convicted. An emotional scene inside the courtroom. We'll have more on this verdict coming up on KSAT 12's News at 6.
All right, we just talked about below average temperatures for next week with highs in the upper 80s and good rain chances. I want to actually take us into early August here. The heat high is going to be off to the north of us, north and west, and we'll still have a little upper level swirl. That's likely to lead to cooler than average temperatures. That's the latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and I am in agreement with that. And that's something else, something we're not always accustomed to around here.
Yeah, we could get used to it, though.
Yeah, exactly. I like it.
Thanks, Adam, and thanks for watching the news at 5.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.